Yeah.
Getting on the road here, we're gonna go jump into the automotive section with the holographic windshield from Hyundai, which is insane. So getting a better image on this is what you're gonna have. It's gonna it's a holographic, it's basically a glass panel that has a projector that shoots your information up on front. So be it either your speedometer, navigation, things of that nature. Like, again, these are more or less early concepts, but they're trying to make, like, more or less kind of do away with traditional dash and meters, which I personally don't like. I still like having the traditional clusters because what if this thing breaks? You got to worry about fixing it. But yeah, but they do have a dedicated section of this heads up display for passengers, so that way they can enjoy their media and their content if need be. I believe one of the I forgot, it's a big ass truck. There's like a newer SUV that came out last year or year before that has something like that where it supports Amazon Fire built into like a display, into like that side console. And then BMW also has something similar, which we'll go into in just a second here. But this is here we go. It makes it easier to interact with helpful tools like 3D maps with current tech. So basically they're trying to make the driving experience more and more advanced and more smart. And I'm like, that's kind of a leap because a lot of people, regular people, can't even drive a traditional non-smart car. And it's really fascinating. I would like to see this in person, but I'm not really for it, at least me personally, just for safety reasons and for cost. Like, oh my God, it's gonna be expensive to fix this. Like, God forbid it just goes out on its own. If you're out of warranty, G fucking G. But speaking of G fucking G, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into BMW's panoramic iDrive system, where this is, again, one of those other newer immersive setups, heads up display for navigation and all that stuff too. Touchscreen built in, gestures. Like, this back with the gesture controls. Like, you know, that stuff is not the most reliable, but sure, I guess. Look at this. Ah, yes, they mentioned this is the rhomboid entertainment center. Just how the shape is. I'm like, ah, yes, the rhombus. But with the panorama, what it is that it is a bar that has a display underneath, like underneath your glass, that shows you all of your information there. You can customize the lighting and everything the way you want it to. Turn by turn directions. Basically helps you keep your eyes on the road. While I do appreciate the idea of heads up displays, I personally think that I would rather have an external peripheral that connects to my battery that turns on when I turn on the car, or at least a device I could just plug into my cigarette lighter, because again, they do make those, as opposed to having, I'm gonna turn this down, make sure it's not too loud, as opposed to having more on screen. Again, there are always ups and downs. Like, upside, yeah, sure, you're putting more critical information like your navigation, your mileage, your battery, or at least on these are electric cars, your battery mileage left on screen. But too much going on screen, or if this thing fails, where's the backup? Where's the failsafe? So again, really fascinating. As you can see here, your cluster is gone. Your traditional cluster, that's what this is now. And again, I'm not necessarily a fan of how that necessarily works, just because I'm not old, but I am old school. I do prefer the traditional mechanical clusters as opposed to the digital clusters. We'll see how this pans out. No pun intended. I'm sorry. I will see myself out. I apologize. I made a bad pun. I'm sorry.
Boom.
Boo this man! Jeez, it's a lot. Almost done here, y'all. I'm sorry. It's been a long day because I got out of work, slept for a little bit, and I jumped right into this nonsense. And speaking of nonsense, are you really balling if your home isn't this fucking fly? Look at this shit. So this is the the self-drivable mobile home. I think we're starting to gentrify. I think by we I mean capitalism is gentrifying mobile homes and RVs. So it has a bunch of fancy amenities too. Of course, typically, would you expect your like no regular cluster because mobile home? It's just gonna be a tablet. Got your microwave and electric stove. Like, it looks it looks legit like a high-end apartment, but it's on wheels, and it goes for the drivable version. The base model goes for 100K, the trailer model goes for 140K, and the drivable version goes for 300K. Yeah, reservations are open now for these, and it's just okay, here we go. So this is the base version, that's the drivable version, that's the trailer version. So definitely this is definitely modernizing how this stuff works. Yeah, 400 square feet of interior living space. This looks like an elegant apartment at a glance. Like, it's insane. And this is just one of those, like, okay, like, you kind of moving these is always like a bastard to do, versus like the trailer version. You can go ahead and just hook it up to your truck, not your Cybertruck. That shit ain't gonna carry this shit anywhere. You can go ahead and like expand it and transform it out to be, again, a whole home. So it must be really nice in more temperate climates and more livable scenarios. But yeah, let's see if I can go ahead and wrap this up, because I wish I gave myself a little bit more time. Actually, you know what? No, forget it. We're gonna go ahead and finish this. We're gonna ball. We're gonna ball so hard, motherfuckers are not gonna find us. The reason why I say that is because Segway! Into Segway has a bike now. Segway has their new bikes, 0 to 20 in 5.2 seconds, 88 miles between charges, 85 pounds. Quite hefty. You can carry it, but it's not going to be fun. And takes 6 hours to charge, 26 by 3 inch tires, so it's real thick, heavy suspension. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and get yourself a new e-bike and you're a fan of Segway, now's the time. They haven't nothing announced fully yet. Of course, you have to opt in for pre-orders. But yeah, this and Segway, y'all know they have made the scooters and the Segways themselves. So yeah, if you're looking to get a new e-bike and you have some cash to spend, these are going to be like over like $1,200 to $1,500 or more. So you can either get a car or you can get a bike. You can get a bike. That is going to be it for the automotive section. But I'm going to go ahead and do a quick touch base on an interesting product I saw. Say hello to your new friend, the Moon Buddy. So the Moon Buddy will help. It is a squishy, smart device that helps children with breathing exercises. So which is actually really good to help them not only learn how to de-stress and calm down, but also to take their ass to bed. So again, super simple, relatively inexpensive, like $90. Small little handheld device they can use to help practice proper breathing exercises, so they can actually get into better mental health practices with great breathing techniques, even getting your kid into meditation. Like, this is a really good thing to have, even for like when they're out and on the go, to help them de-stress in stressful situations, especially now with the advent of the California fires and just the state of the world. Honestly, this couldn't be the best time. This is the best time for it to come out. There is no screen. It's all just a device and its own built-in battery. So no need to worry about screen time interrupting them and interrupting their sleep cycle. And again, a nice, small, cute, easy to use device to help practice healthy breathing practices to help de-stress and de-escalate, because kids can definitely become a handful. Speaking of handful, you want to see a fucking handful? Check this out.